Hello, this is Julian Lumb from Pearson. I'm the publisher who's been working on the new Senior Mathematics 3rd edition offering. There is another recording on our website where the author Bobos goes through the requirements of the new syllabus as well as the new chapter content in the series. This webinar will be looking briefly at the new digital assets that accompany the ebook component of the series. There were two main themes underpinning the creation of this new edition. The first, of course, was meeting the requirements of the new Stage 6 syllabus, including the support for internal and external investments. And the second was to focus on strengthening mathematical understanding. We are offering a new range of assets as part of our ebook to enable teachers to focus on strengthening the mathematical understanding of students. The ebook version is free when purchasing the student book, or it can be purchased separately. The ebook contains all the student book content, as well as links to digital activities, full work solutions, investigations, question banks, and exam preparation material. As part of the new edition, we're enhancing the digital offering that accompanies the series. The digital technology activities we're offering are designed to enable and promote deeper understanding, allowing students to make connections, visualize, and manipulate data and concepts in real time. Digital activities utilize technology such as graphing software and spreadsheets and will be accessible from the ebook and can be used to project to the class in order to demonstrate a concept or for students to engage with on their own device. The first of the digital activities that I will look at are called Making Connections. The Making Connections activities focus on providing a visual display of ideas. They are short things that students can do themselves or can be done in class to demonstrate an idea visually. The Making Connections tasks appear throughout the text in boxes placed in appropriate places. So in this case, we're looking at chapter 12 of the advanced book, Trigonometric Functions and Graphs, and the theory is going through the transformations of the graphs. And so you can see that as the transformations are introduced, we'll have Making Connections boxes, which will link to an interactive graph that can be viewed. So for instance, at this point, all of the transformations have been introduced, and here we could link to a graph where we move the sliders to explore transformations of the trigonometric graphs. So this would link to this online graphing activity where students are asked to explore the transformations of the sine graph through altering the values k, a, b, and c. So in this case here, we've introduced the general form and students have sliders that enable them to view the transformations. So if they alter the value of k, they can view the changing of the amplitude of the sine function. Altering the value of a will enable them to view the changing the period of the function. And by altering the values of b and c, they can view both the horizontal and the vertical translations. A second example of a Making Connections interactive activity will be looking at how the sine and the cosine graphs are constructed from the unit circle. So students will alter the value of the angle and they'll see the sine and the cosine graphs being constructed. Another example of a different one is here we're looking at the Sierpinski triangle, and by altering the value of n through the various iterations, students can see how the triangle is constructed as part of an iterative series. The final example I'll look at is direction fields. This is part of the Extension 1 course material, where students are asked to create the direction field of a differential equation. So in this case, we can see here we've inputted the equation kx over y, and we can view the direction field as well as alter the value of k to see how that alters the direction field. There is also the ability, all of these graphs come with the ability to interact with them and to change them. So in this case, we could change the equation x plus ky, and we would see the direction field for this graph likewise with the ability to alter the value of k. The second type of interactive activity that appears in boxes throughout the text are the Explore Further activities. These tasks aim to consolidate concepts by having students engage with a short activity, including either a spreadsheet or graphing software. The difference with these activities is that these are a little bit more detailed. These activities, rather than linking to a specific online graph with an instruction to alter something, they'll link to a Word document that will contain instructions for constructing an online graph or a spreadsheet, and then a few questions that students can answer to enable them to consolidate the concept that they've learnt. An example of an Explore Further activity is this one from Chapter 17 on integral calculus. So in this instance, we're looking at the area between two curves, and students are asked to use technology to graph and calculate the area between two curves. So the task begins with a set of instructions for looking at this in an online graph, including the area that students are asked to calculate. And then there's an exploration task containing a handful of questions, enabling them to reflect upon what they've constructed, what they've learned, and some suggested answers. The second example of an Explore Further activity will be from Chapter 19 on bivariate data analysis. Here we're looking at the line of best fit, and students are asked to use spreadsheet software to find the line of best fit using least squares regression. So students in a spreadsheet will follow the instructions, enter the data into the spreadsheet, or provide their own data. And the activity takes them through the process of constructing not just a scatter plot, but also the line of best fit with accompanying regression equation. There's a few questions for students to reflect upon what they've constructed, as well as some suggested answers. Both the Making Connections and Explore Further activities appear in boxes throughout the student text. However, the student text does not rely on any of these activities. It is self-contained. The print book can be used as a print book without having to access the digital activities. Another new feature is interactive lessons to provide additional support with videos, examples, and auto-correcting digital questions. These are not included as boxes throughout the text. They're accessible through the resources panel in the ebook, and they can be utilized by teachers as teachers see relevant, both in class as a way of demonstrating the ideas, or as something that students can do after class in order to consolidate some of the ideas. In order to enable teachers to meet all the requirements of the New State Stage 6 syllabus, including the assessment requirements, we're also providing additional resources for teachers. We're providing teacher programs. The teaching programs for both Year 11 and 12 are provided for each course with weekly structured sections. The teaching programs for Year 11 and Year 12 are provided for each course with weekly structured sections. These include direct links to each resource for ease of access. From the teaching program, you can see that this is structured by the week with the various sections, but each section in the teacher book has an additional panel next to it that goes through the digital activities associated with that section of the book. These include the Making Connections and the Explore Furthers that appear in the text, as well as the additional interactive resources that can accompany each lesson. So here we can see down the side the various things that accompany it. All of the digital activities will be hyperlinked from the teaching plan so that teachers can do their planning from the teaching plan and view directly all of the accompanying resources in order to assess how they wish to use them. So for in this case, we have Chapter 2, Module 2, Angles of Any Magnitude. There are a variety of interactive lessons associated with this. If we were to click on one of the hyperlinks, this would take us to the interactive lesson online, and we'll see that there's a video that can accompany the concepts covered in the student book. We're also providing syllabus mapping grids. These are provided for each course, and the syllabus is mapped to the module section level of the student book chapter, down to the dot point level in the syllabus. We are providing 2 investigation assignments for each student book with 1 per year level. This is to enable teachers to use these to cover the investigation assessment requirements, and each of these investigations includes a document that's a student task, a document that's a sample response, as well as a recommended marking scheme that can be adapted by teachers as they see fit. We're providing sample exams, so 5 sample exam style papers and answers per title. These have been created by the author based upon the draft specifications from NESA. We're also providing question banks including work solutions. The question bank is a set of 15 to 30 additional questions with full work solutions for every chapter in the student book. This is to support teachers in preparing for a range of internal assessments or to be used as revision, an additional kind of chapter review from the text. We're providing work solutions. We're providing full work solutions for every even numbered question in the student book, accessible via the ebook. Those who are familiar with the previous edition of the series will remember that we provided separate print books covering all the odd numbered work solutions. We are also providing this as part of this offering, but in order to make sure there are full work solutions for every question, we're providing the full work solutions for all of the even numbered questions via the ebook, included in the ebook at no extra charge. We also have the interactive lessons that we just viewed from the teaching plan. These are selections of videos, examples, and auto-correcting questions that are mapped to the relevant module sections. So as I just mentioned, we are also printing student work solution books that contain full work solutions for every odd numbered question in the student book. These can be purchased separately or can be purchased as a pack with the student book. However, as I mentioned, work solutions to all of the even numbered questions are available from the ebook. For any additional information regarding pricing and availability, please visit our online store or speak to your local sales consultant. Thank you.